Yeah, on the board.
I present to you Mr. Robert Bell.
Pay attention to those desires, those images in your mind, because if you do, and the more detail you can think about those images and how you see yourself, you will become what you imagine.
Now, how did your family find out about the African Heritage Cultural Arts Center?
I remember how we heard about it. I mean, we always knew that it was here, but certainly through Miami Northwestern, through PAVAC, right? That a lot of the teachers that we had there also taught here. This is great to be able to look over and not think I'm crazy and making this stuff up. And so that was there was a certain synergy around that in the community. And so people knew that this was the place where it was happening. And so that was it was a natural progression. And sometimes even we just used the space to rehearse in. I remember when I finally did my first over the head lift, you know what I mean by that, in this ballet that Adelaida Muniz, who was one of my teachers, we did Les Corsaires. We performed it at Joseph Caleb down the street, but we rehearsed here. And I remember I could never get the lift quite right. I mean, she would get about this high, and that was about it, and I put her down happily. And then one day, I believe we were here in the studio, I finally got the over-the-head lift, and I thought I was Superman. I mean, I wanted to paint an S, you know? I was like, come on, get me a cartoon or something. But anyway, you remember, and I say all of those things that they are funny, but those things are informing the rest of your lives. Those little triumphs that happen sort of prepare you for the next challenge. And so that's some of my memories of here, is getting the lift right. What I remember about being here wasn't necessarily about the steps or the dates or the exact teacher. What I remember is being afraid, you know?
Afraid?
Yeah. Wow. I remember the fear I had of speaking in front of people, certainly of dancing in front of people, the fear of going across the floor by yourself or with only two people, and will I get it right? Will I be judged? But you're learning something, and what I learned here, what I learned in Liberty City, you're learning something about courage. And courage, as Maya Angelou has said, is one of the most important virtues. Without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently. So it is those things that they're learning are not just about dance steps. It's really about courage. And I remember knowing that courage, and I still know that now, was not about being fearless. It's about the presence of fear, but going on anyway. And so when I watch them, I'm reminded of that. And it sort of feeds my soul in a way, seeing them out here.
Yeah. Excellent. And now, what advice can you share about the keys to achieving success? And how did the Centers program prepare you for the success that you're experiencing now?
Well, the most important thing I think one receives from this place and places like this is that imagination and curiosity that you have is nurtured. That somebody says that it's not only okay that you have dreams and images for yourself, but we're going to actually tell you that there's value in that. There's value in your imagination. Now, the imagination works in two ways. There is the positive imagination. There's also the negative imagination. And so when that positive imagination is being nurtured, no one can take that away from you. To say that your dreams matter, that anything that when we're on the airplane or in the car or the fork or the spoon, it started with an idea. It started with some kind of imagination. That was nurtured here. And so that has been my passport to the world. So I take this with me wherever I go. And surely I would not be where I am if I hadn't gotten the foundation from here, from Liberty City, That came from here. I'm just so grateful for that. In some ways, that made me sort of dig down just a little bit deeper And so every time I step out on the stage, whether it's when they say, oh, please welcome the artistic director of the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater, I take those people with me, right? To remind myself of where I come from. If my head doesn't get in the air and I forget, right? There you go.
It sounds like you're still practicing some of the values from what you learned here.
Absolutely. They sustain me every day.
Now, when you reflect back on your overall experience here as a student, what did the African Heritage Cultural Arts Center mean to you right here?
Well, I think, for me, I think more about the fact that it is still going on, you know? That when I come back, it's not a building that is, become, a couple of apartments or something. That there says something about the community that this building is still not only standing, but thriving, right? And growing. Isn't that amazing? Because we know that the arts are important for our young people for many reasons, but we also know that the arts has a way of breaking down the proverbial walls that tend to want to divide us. So now more than ever, this space is sacred space, right?
Ooh,
and that
sacred space,
yes,
I like that.
absolutely,
I like
and
that.
we have to continue. So I think it touches me in my heart, my head, my imagination, whatever it is, that this is still here.
So let's talk a little bit about My Story, My Dance. What was it like having Simon & Schuster, create that book about your life? What did that feel like?
It's amazing. I mean, look at this. This is a book
It's beautiful.
that's about me. I'm sorry to gloat for just 1 minute. Just let me feel it for 1 minute. Is it all right?
Oh, God.
At 13, Robert nervously waited for his first lesson to begin. He was much older than many of those in his class. Loose and limber from karate, Robert's lean frame easily maneuvered through the warm-ups at the African Heritage Cultural Arts Center on Miami 2nd Avenue. There you go.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us about this short film?
Well, we were just so happy to be a part of the success of this film in our small way, to contribute to this, just because, it's like so amazing that this film, that just started out kind of as a smaller project, is now, look at it. I started out as a small project. And so making this short dance, how do you get all of that? How do you say that as a dance inspired by the movie? And how many, a minute and 40 seconds? Yeah, how do you say that all? And so that's what we were trying to do, say something about, the adult self and the young self. And I saw reflections of my own life within there.